Reforest Northern Kentucky Committee this year, and we are here at luscious St. Anne's Convent in the Holy Family Home, Sisters of Divine Providence, and it's been raining all day. We probably had a good 150, 200 people show up, so the volunteers are what really make this event happen.
You're going to show them one of these baby trees, maybe even two, like a persimmon and a bur oak. Show them the roots are very different. And the hole has to be dug individually for, specifically for the tree. Worst thing you can do is plant your tree too shallow, so the roots are sticking up out of the ground. The second worst thing you can do is plant it too deep.
So the tree leaders get here early, and they are basically given a demonstration of how to do it. And then they take the volunteers out into the field, and they just kind of get turned loose, and acres get planted that way.
You see how it's kind of slick on the sides? That can actually turn into like a clay pot where the roots can't get through. So to stop that, you just do this. All right?
Okay.
And the roots then can find their way out. So you scratch it,
and then you'll start placing the dirt back in. And it's going to be muddy, but that's just the way it is. But we'll get the dirt back in, and then pack it around the roots with your fingers. You're going to get muddy, you're going to get dirt on your fingers, but that's okay.
Reforest Northern Kentucky started in 2007. That was the first year was at Big Bone Lick State Park. So here now in our 8th year. The first year that we've had bad weather, and it's been a great success despite what's been a very challenging day. What an amazing effort of people devoted to their love of community, their love of trees, children, adults, all here for the same reason, to have what I call a party for trees.
The hardest part every year is trying to find a place to plant. So what we really look for is something it's either public space or at a school, at a church, in a park, an area that's basically being mowed that doesn't necessarily need to be mowed, that they need to allow an area just to go back to its kind of native form. And once you have that figured out, everything else just falls into place.
Here on this site, the fields were clipped twice because they were old fields that had tough grass on them. Some brambles and invasive shrubs like honeysuckle, things like that. Then they were sprayed with an herbicide to deaden the grass so that then the grass wouldn't compete with the tree seedlings once they were planted.
We plant seedlings, usually one-year seedlings, some anywhere between 1,500 and 3,000 at these events. Sometimes up to 90% of the trees live, and start to reforest areas of northern Kentucky that need some tree canopy.
What kind of trees are these?
These are native varieties of shakebark hickory, redbud, sycamore, swamp oak.
Pawpaw, they told us.
Well, but there could be. That might be a pawpaw there.
Yes! It's hard to say. Oh,
Right,
no,
right, right.
We are planting 18 different species, native species here to Kentucky. So trees like sycamores, black gums, those are mainly being planted in these lowland areas where they're going to do the best.
By planting them here, they're not going to mow this property anymore, so it'll allow for natural succession to come in, and we're planting between these two natural forests, so their seeds will start dispersing into this area and it'll reforest. It's really important to do these events so that we can continue to have beautiful Kentucky woodlands.
The importance of these reforest events are twofold. I mean, one, you obviously get more trees out in the community. So everybody comes out here, they get to learn about how to plant a tree properly, the importance of trees, what trees mean to the region.
Trees are essential for life, for humans. We need them for oxygen, we need them for materials like wood and shade. They control our climate, all kinds of things. They're hosts for insects and provide habitat for wildlife.
We're losing so many trees to developments all the time, and programs like this that are replanting, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 trees at a time makes a big difference. And to have all the adults come out and bring their kids and impress upon them that it's important here's how you do it.
So after all the trees in the field are planted, they basically are heading out, and whatever they were planting in the field, they have the opportunity to take home, as many as they want generally. So what we really need in the future, are just people to come out and plant with us, take trees home and plant them in your backyard.
I've been to all but one. Yeah, so I look forward to it every year.
That's great. Have you visited sites that you planted?
I have,
How does that look?
and a lot of the trees are doing quite well. It's exciting to see that.
If we cut down all the trees, there would be no oxygen.
And all these kids out here.
All these kids are not sitting around playing video games, but planting trees.
Yeah, it's cool.
Teach them early. That's a good thing.
About how far apart do you want?
Let's do about 10 feet, 10 to 20 feet.